Knock at the door about 8 p.m. at the front door, and I opened it. Small, brief conversation, but I noticed up at the header there was a green lizard. You know, very green, about 5-6 inches. And I knew if it came in the house, Tish would not be happy. I get it, and I throw it in the yard. The conversation's about over, and I looked up, and there was another lizard. Again, a big one, about 5 or 6 inches, very green. As I reached, he fell, and he was in the house. He was very green, but as he was on the floor and stayed on the floor as we tried to get, he began to change colors. And he kind of got a little browner, as our floor is a laminate floor in brown. Well, then finally I grabbed him and I had him. And he had the audacity to break his tail off. And I had a squirming tail in my hand, and they do squirm. And then that lizard's it actually hit Tish's leg on the way to the floor. And I said, Tish, take this tail so I can get... She didn't take the tail. And so I went to the door and I threw the tail into the yard. And now I don't know where the lizard is. And so we began to move things around, and she got the broom. And by the time we found that lizard, it was so traumatized, it was almost black. It had gone from green to light brown. And when I say almost black, it wasn't this black, but it was darker than any of this wood you see up here. It went from green to brown. You know, that's what chameleons do, isn't it? And by the way, I did catch it, and I threw it out, and Tish said maybe it will rejoin its tail. Our lives aren't to be that way. We don't change just because our environment changes. In other words, and you know what I mean, the person, he's at church, he's in a Christian gathering, and he looks like the finest Christian. But he gets in another environment, and there's kind of crude or lewd talk, and he joins right in, and his language mimics theirs, and he talks just like they do. Or he gets in a crowd, and, well, this crowd, they'll drink the beers and drink the wine, and he does the same. A lizard, it's all right if it changes with its environment. But Christians, we don't do that. In 1 Corinthians 15, as you get towards the end of the chapter, and Paul said that we're to be steadfast, unmovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord. I think kind of the point really was, keep working. But in the point of keep working and staying steadfast, it's also keep doing the right thing, regardless of the environment. If we could assist you in your obedience tonight, if it's that you need to be baptized for the forgiveness of sins, if it's that you have wandered away and sin's overtaken you, and you wish to confess your sin and have the congregation to pray for you, there's other needs. You need to come tonight. Please come as we stand and sing.